Welcome to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Morocco. The ACIO has a long history of helping humanity from the deep recesses of time. This is the first time the ACIO has become available to the public, aside from an earlier visitation by their 15th Division, the Wingmakers. Peter the Insider, originally from Slovakia, is the director of their 12th Division, and Jessica Arael Morocco is in Cicada 3301, their 6th Division. Together, they provide intel, insights on current events, a deeper perspective on aliens and UFOs, super soldier missions with Unit 374 and the Merge, and news relevant for disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our latest intel and post any questions and comments below.
You see her information, Peter?
No, I got it. We just need to wait for a certain amount of time. So you saw that, right? Yeah, sorry, you told that, right?
Yeah, that takes a couple minutes to process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. So how are you guys all doing? This is a great day. We're enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing good. I mean, we're in the middle of a mission that we haven't made public, but it's keeping us, like communicating often and hoping things don't get messed up like our last mission.
Oh dear.
Anything could go wrong. Yeah, so.
When it's evening there for you, because it's like 10 o'clock, so you're what, probably supper time there right now?
It's about 7 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and for me, I don't give a shit about time because we are in the middle of battlefield in another context of existence. Thank you very much. Okay, finally, sweet Lord, you got way too many things.
Me? You must be joking.
So first things first, crucial question. Okay. Are you familiar with our website?
I know all about it. Jessica and I have been friends, so I'm very well aware of the website for many years. Yes.
That's very important.
Yeah, not familiar. I know.
So
I refer it out a lot.
Okay, so remember year 4. Last digit of year 4. Because we are talking about 20 and back time program, right?
All right.
Time traveling program 20 and back.
Okay.
So you by accident appear in 1964. You shouldn't ever be here in 1964. Real date of year of birth, everything is fine. January, 19, it's fine. But for real, 1924.
I'm holding up okay.
I'm just trying to say.
I'm just hearing you.
And we will, I mean, it's kind of complicated to get because if we will go time-wise, like because of timeline, it will mess up the projects. And if we will go about projects and corporations, it will mess up the time. But I'm using mostly second option. So if I will say I'm referring always to bad guys. And right here, right now, we are talking about Monarch right here, right now, I'm calling them butterflies, bastards. Yeah. So, oh my God. Are you sure that you are Canadian?
Well, I don't refer to myself as a Canadian, but they all think it is. Whatever.
No, I'm asking. Normally, without any sort of no. Are you sure about it, right?
What do you mean? What are you trying to say? Just say it.
Yeah. That's the problem. I will write it, okay?
Okay, you can type it in the thing, sure. I've always said I was never a Canadian. I'm not British Columbia. I'm not out of Saskatchewan. I don't even refer to those things because I know they're incorrect. So he's not incorrect with that. Like as a clan mother, right? Our genetics are not confined to this.
Yep.
And the gatekeepers know that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's I was gonna say the ones that matter know who it is.
You got that ancient Russian connection too.
Give me a second. I am writing very important stuff, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. That's not good. Anyway, we'll get it. You are Russian. And those are real deal parents. The first, the middle, pardon me, the middle, Vladimirovna is also called in Russian Otchestvo. It means, or it should be like variant of first name of your father. Okay? The first surname is maiden name of your mother, and that's your father's name.
So this really long name, Alina Vladimirovna Jakovlaya.
Jakovlev, it's like maiden's name. I cannot see it.
And then the
I can't see it.
Maiden name.
That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
The
No, sorry.
Makadolov
It should be
is
no, sorry. It should be Yakov.
Okay, so underneath what I put there for you, Peter, that's actually on my maternal side is all like Ved Rus or Russian, Ukrainian, whatever. But
It's Ukraine. Is from Ukraine. Yep.
Spasibo. So in there, my great grandmother, Edwana, which is like Dorothy, but she was married Theodore Lusik, and he was actually in the like Austrian army at one point. He was a captain, and apparently what happened in the early 1900s is they were all hololinguistics. They all spoke many languages. So they spoke Russian,
Oh,
German,
at least 4, 5. I know that because
yeah,
they
they
need.
were.
They need.
Yeah. And so he overheard them. He was a captain working with the stallion, whatever. He fell off a stallion, apparently. And he overheard the Germans saying that they were going to amputate his leg. So he left to Canada and then married my great grandmother, Adwana. And so they came here and they founded a little town called Kreider, which is north of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, in the Cree, Nihilwalk area. But their they had a their daughter was Anna Buzikavich, and then Anna Lusik, and then she married my grandfather Peter Buzikavich. Now he was part of the Canadian Army. Again, my mom had stories that he came and was being they sought after him like CSIS, RCMP, whoever it was after World War II, because again he spoke many languages, and she can remember like basically CSIS coming in trying to recruit him, which was very interesting. And then I saw later, after they passed away, because I was doing the genealogy, right, is that when I went into there, is that he had a uniform for the police commissioners. And it was actually a very special braid. It said it was the President Eisenhower's golden braid. So he had a special uniform as well, way back when. But it was something he always taught me, Peter, that was, and it's funny because my grandfather was Peter Petrov, right? So Gita, he basically told me I was always from the Church of the Firstborn. And now I know that's you're the gift and da. And I know now that to be later they told me.
And I will tell you, they completely how can I say it? Delete the whole trace because do you know who were Vlasovs?
No, not really.
Vlasovs were Ukrainians. They were traitors. They decided to help SS battalions, Germans.
Okay, I thought this might be a point where we should review that information that Peter talked about, because this is the complexity of what we're talking about looking at right now. The Russian Liberation Army, and it looks like it was active in 1943. The Russian Liberation Army, and then also known as Vlasov Army, and it was a collaborationist formation primarily composed of Russians that fought under German command during World War II. From January 1945, the army was led by Audrey Vlasov, a Red Army general who had defected, and members of the army are often referred to as Vlasovci. In 1944, it became known as the Armed Forces of the Committee for the Liberation of the Peoples of Russia. Vlasov agreed to collaborate with Nazi Germany after having been captured in the Eastern Front. The soldiers of the ROA command were mostly former Soviet prisoners of war, but also include some white Russian immigrants, some of whom were veterans of the anti-communist White Army from the Russian Civil War and previously served on the Eastern Front, and that was during 1917 to 1923. The political platform for the ROA was formulated mainly by Vlasov and his associates who were products of Soviet society. So the declared principles of the Vlasovites were anti-capitalism, right of the nations, to self-determination and devotion to the ideals of the Russian Revolution of 1917, while they tried to avoid Nazi anti-Semitism and chauvinism and form a political movement independent of the Nazi control. The ROA existed only in Nazi propaganda until November of 1944, while the Ostrupen, referred to as the ROA by the Nazi propaganda, served directly under the German command and were not formalized or separate units. While the image of Vlasov was a mere propaganda weapon, on the 14th of November 1944, it was officially formed as the Armed Forces of the Committee of the Liberation of the Peoples of Russia, with the KONR being formed as the political body to which the Army pledged loyalty. On the 28th of January 1945, it was officially declared that the Russian divisions no longer formed part of the German Army, but would directly be under the command of the KONR, and Vlasov became the commander-in-chief of the ROA. And in May of 1945, the first division of the ROA, while being only completed division of the existing three, switched sides and joined the anti-Nazi Prague uprising. So you see that there's a switch of power, and that there was this rebellion, which we're seeing with this Azov group. I'm thinking that this Vlasov then turns to Azov, which they call it right now. The ROA did not officially exist under autumn of 1944 after Heinrich Himmler persuaded a very reluctant Hitler to permit the formation of 10 Russian Liberation Army divisions. On the 14th of November, Prague, Vlasov read aloud the Prague Manifesto before the newly created Committee to the Liberation of the People of Russia. And the document stated the purpose of the battle against Stalin and spelled out 14 points which the army was fighting for, and German insistence that the document carry anti-Semitic rhetoric was successfully parried by Vlasov's committee, but they were obliged to include the statement criticizing the Western Allies, labeling them plutocracies that were allies of Stalin in his conquest of Europe. So you can see that there's quite a bit of transition that happened, and somehow the Czech Republic was involved. The Soviet government labeled all ROA soldiers as traitors, and those who were repatriated were tried and sentenced to detention in prison camps Vlasov and several other leaders of the ROA were tried and hanged in Moscow on August 1st, 1946. I just wanted to take a look over here at Vlasov himself so people could see him. He was a Soviet-Russian Red Army general, so he was a general during the Axis Soviet campaigns of World War II. He fought against the Wehrmacht in the Battle of Moscow and later was captured, attempting to lift the siege of Leningrad. In his capture, he defected to the Third Reich and nominally headed the Collaboration Russian Liberation Army. He also became the political leader of the Russian Collaboration of Anti-Soviet Movement. And initially, the army existed only on paper and was used by Germans to goad Red Army troops to surrender, while any political and military activities were officially forbidden to him by the Nazis after he visits the occupied territory. Only in November 1944 did Heinrich Himmler, aware of the German shortage of manpower, arrange for Vlasov's formations, composed of Soviet prisoners of war, as armed forces of the Committee for the Liberation of the Peoples of Russia, a political organization headed by Vlasov. It pretty much repeats what it says over there, and then the involvement again with the Prague uprising. So, and this is where you start seeing the information of where Zelensky's at and this Azov group. So they're saying there's no known connection between any prominent individual named Vlasov and the Azov movement in Ukraine. The most prominent historical figure with that name is Andrei Vlasov, a Soviet lieutenant general who was captured by Nazi Germany in World War II and became a collaborator, leading the anti-Soviet Russian Liberation Army. The Azov Regiment, formerly the Azov Battalion, is a Ukrainian military unit that gained global attention during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, particularly for its defense of Mariupol. While the Azov Regiment had far-right origins and had been a central target of Russian propaganda, there's no evidence linking it to the historical general Andrei Vlasov or any currently prominent individual named Vlasov. The historical Vlasov was a Russian who collaborated. Okay, so they're saying that. So where does the Azov group come from? The coastal region off of the Sea of Azov. So it's saying it's because of the location of the Sea of Azov, which derives its name, as opposed to Vlasov. But I just thought that it was an interesting combination. I have a feeling there is still a connection to that. And maybe they didn't want to associate with him directly, or that name is common. But I think people should understand a lot of this, particularly because we're still in a situation regarding the Sixth Reich and their activities, not just in this reality, but other realities that are bleeding through into ours right now.
And both Yakovlev and Makadalov, both families, they want to, how can I say it, to know the whole story. Like they don't want to be like, okay, but all of us, like Ukrainians, are not the traitors. And because of those families, world know the truth. Who were Vlasovs? What was their involvement with SS commandos and everything? Because technically, they were, I mean, the Germans, even in the 30s, they went they were sent to Soviet Union deeply, and they were making recruitments, and no one wants to talk about that. I don't know why. I don't know why. So no 1941, no nothing, no Operation Barbarossa. Forget about it. It was way before, 1933, 1934, something like that, 1935, something like that. And they're like, no, 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 this will never happen. Like the invasion itself, no one believes that at the time. The Operation Barbarossa, no one believed that. No one believes even that something like Second World War will happen at the time, at the time. Early 30s, 1930s. And they gain huge amounts of evidence.
Mhm.
And I know certain people, they got those evidence. So those are the evidence from your family, just by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. They are written in but not normal Ukrainian, old-ish Ukrainian, in order not so many people to understand it.
Because I think the bloodlines, what you're saying in here, these are the original tying to something else that's happened through the time travel program.
Yeah. This is the first time, and the second time, because they know, they were like, okay, they planned Second World War in even late 1920s. In Germany, and like, okay, if this will happen, we've got a ton of evidence, and they make it on German too. They wrote everything, and I saw it on my own fucking eyes. It's a huge book. It's a very thick book. It's thick book like hell. I saw it.
Okay.
And then, because it was just a theory. It was a theory, But once it happened, 1931, 1932, 1941, 1942, pardon me. And they were like, okay, guys, look, 10 years before. And we know all the shit what is going on. It is as it is. It is as it is. And no one wants to talk about that. I'm just trying to say.
Are you saying that's how her family ended up in Canada because of this?
Because no one, of course, in Soviet Union, then they hate them. And Western world say like, oh my fucking God, Germany was compromised. Of course, West Germany. No one wants to talk about that. US was very involved in Second World War, too. So it's kind of okay. Get the heck away from the Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the nearest? And at the time, it was good option to live, good country to live. Bam, Canada. And we know rest of the story. And this is important. And Jessica, this is very important. I don't know if you are hearing our podcast, because mostly they are podcasts. They are not like shows, but you can hear them as podcasts about Murkov Corporation.
Yeah.
That's my question. Do you know? Do you have clue? Are you okay? You are familiar with Murkov. I'm kind of in shock how much, but I don't know how many, because I don't know which kind of term should I use. Information your real parents, give me a second, real parents gained about Murkov himself.
Really?
And his projects. Many things. And I'm saying you will not heard about it. You don't want to. He's fucking bastard. He's fucking bastard. You don't want to hear that, believe me. But I was about where in the world we have thick stuff, book about him. Like we got things like, you know, the info. And now I can see finally the source. You can be not only happy, but in first things first, you can be proud. That's, you know, your real deal parents.
You're making me tear. Anyway, thank you. It's touching me. I can feel it. Yeah.
Because you know,
were they spies,
he's
Peter?
very bad. He's very bad person. I don't want to say person. He's what he is. He's a hybrid. And because even the worst people in the world will, if they are full people, like, you know, like mankind, and if there is some sort of soul, even the smallest part of the soul, and if there is a conscious, they will never do such a shit as he was doing and as he is doing still. He's, nah, you don't want to hear this. No, believe me, no.
Okay.
I will tell you, I am a soldier, elite soldier with crazy training.
Okay.
I'm rough, but sometimes I don't have guts for it. I'm just like, I want to vomit from this shit. And I will tell you, like, you know, it's like men killing men, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But men killing women, and especially pregnant women, but men killing small children was like, what the fuck are you doing, you idiots?
No.
And no, I sorry, I don't want to talk about that. This is trigger for me. No,
Peter,
no.
Peter, were you implying that her original parents were spies of infiltrators into Murkoff's facility or something?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes.
And so they gathered
Definitely
the
yes.
information and brought it back so that they could.
I was kind of unhappy that we almost canceled the session. Nope, it didn't occur. Then I'm very happy that we are having this session, to be perfectly honest with you. Very happy.
Spasibo.
Nie masz ta problemu. Jak krasivaška devúška, nezaplanteľa vlása.
You sound like my grandparents. You're making me cry. I haven't heard that. Like, you know, when you hear your mother's tongue, right, for a long time. So.
Pardon me. Sorry for that.
No, it's okay. You need to
it's kind of, I think Slavic languages are good to hear, I think.
It's in the heart. It's an original language. That was kind of what I was coming back to. There was someone that I knew as part of the time travel program, and you know, they were saying you were a clan mother, like we recognize that. And there's stuff that when they come back, they talk about stuff in the 1700s and, you know, way before the Anastasia. And she said, honey, you're from the original nobility. She said, you're the original queens, you know, the original before the royalty, right? The Tartarian stuff. And, you know,
I know.
It's a heart language, you know, it's whatever. It's mother tongue. Anyway, thank you.
No problem. So, actually, you being born, once again, actually, 1924.
The raw foods, can you tell? It's a coconut oil.
Yeah. And the situation is,
raw
was, that you was in Dachau, because you were Jewish originally at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 2 years there. You managed to escape with this is important, part of the family. And then things managed to escape. Pardon me, I'm kind of all over the place because you've got many stuff here, way too many, even for my taste. And then things start to get certain, is in certain weird way.
Yeah.
Because they, and this is important, they want to let you, and this is about your, not me, according your, I don't want to say well wish, call it as you like, opinion. Yeah, opinion. Okay.
Opinion. Okay.
You start to have, you have a lover in the US,
Okay.
and you don't know about one thing. He was not, let's call him lover.
Okay.
He was an agent. And he was like, what the heck are you talking about? I just doing, I'm doing things and on and on. And he was doing CIA. So he was recruited to CIA. So let's call them alphabet agencies for you, okay? And it happened in 1948. It was very young, because it was formed in like only 1 year before that.
Yep.
And then happened something very unusual, if we can call things unusual. Then he disappeared from the world without the trace.
Right.
Yeah.
So I went to
Once
MIA.
again, 4. Digit 4. Last digit 4.
Okay.
He was born uh, in Miami, okay? 1934. All right. And we know Miami, okay? We know Florida, and on and on and on and on and on. Once you was 18,
Mm-hmm.
you literally predicted Cuban crisis. Cuban Missile Crisis.
Cuban Missile. Okay.
October 1962, just by the way. So it was like, okay, I will go here and there, it's no problem. And so they were like, what the heck is she talking about? She's bumbling shit. And
There was a foreshadowing or precognition.
yeah,
Of that.
but they, the military officers, and intelligence officers, that's like, nah, she's talking shit. Nah, it wasn't that kind of shit. Try to
Peter,
guess what
what
happened.
was her name? What was her name there?
Yeesh.
And you didn't say her name as an agent either. And who the guy was. Did the guy kill?
No. I will get to everything of this.
Okay.
Name of the agent in both cases. I mean, both cases. In case of give me a second.
1948 and 1934.
1924 and 1934. Both are the same names. Hey, jeez, where is that? Kind of Russian name. Yeah.
I'm kind of similar to what I am now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, oh yeah, and for
48.
48. I mean, technically, start to work for agency and on and on. Only one name for agency.
Actually, that's almost phonetically the same right now, almost. It's really kind of
Yeah.
strange, isn't
It
it?
is. They are usually.
It's a Russian version of almost what it is now.
Yep. Seems to be the way it's working.
It looks like that.
Interesting. It means pure and foil of grace, by the way.
The last person we talked to, he said his name was Pure too. So he might be pure in
And that's almost
Danish.
you right now. Almost you. Almost.
They're all the similar derivatives.
Oh,
Just
look at
different.
that. Yeah.
Karen and Katrine, all that is their derivatives of Catherine.
You see the next one?
Yeah, I do.
And I
Like
will
I
tell you
said.
something. I've got friends very close
Yeah.
in alphabet agency,
Mm-hmm.
and her father told me that the lady who taught him everything pretty much in the agency,
Yeah.
that was you.
Say that again, Peter. Did I hear
Yeah,
that?
His friend in the
in agency,
in the agency.
Kate, we know Kate.
She said her father learned from someone, which was you, during that time in the
Like
1940s.
absolutely, it looks like you, just with longer hair, like long hair,
Yeah, I cut it.
like down below to the shoulders. Yeah, something like maybe longer, but you know, beside except hair length, you have
Mhm.
perfect match, like
Okay.
perfect match.
Just cut it.
So is Karen in the agency in 1934 as well? Or 1924?
24, 34, yeah. But both
Oh, part of that.
cases, and the thing is, why I am talking about missile crisis, because you were sent there as a spy.
Investigation. Okay. On the Cuban Missile Crisis. You know, it's interesting you mentioned that because back in early 2004, in those times, I actually got because of the biofeedback and the quantum medicine that I do, I actually got a cruise. So Florida is one of the few states that I've been to actually, and through the Caribbean, which is
What the heck?
interesting. You mentioned that.
No. What?
Did you go to Miami?
Yeah, I know. I'm serious. The few states that I've ever been to, I mean, other than, Disneyland, and when I was with Richard Bartlett, we went through from,
Oh my God.
Vancouver, Victoria, all the way down to, San Diego. But on that side,
Oh my God.
Miami, and I was there because of the biofeedback. So they brought me for a cruise for a week. But I was just going to go, Miami of all the places. That's like the only place I've been down there, aside from New York.
That's
New York.
usually why you can go somewhere. 'cause you've been there.
This is
Yeah.
Yeah.
jeez.
And it's interesting, Peter, is aside from, I had a day off and I was teaching people how to do raindrop massage there. But what was
And
interesting.
you was talking, sorry for that, but they were like, are those really Duinas and Hrushevskas? They the Soviet Russians names for the SS4 and SS5 defense systems, because they don't believe that they will be able. Soviet Americans didn't believe that they will be able to transport such a big amount in the first place, and big
amount of
let's
what?
say big objects in the second place, and unseeable, and on and on and on. And there was
Weapons?
big weapons, yeah. But give me a second, because those were big rockets. So big weapon, like big object in the first place, See, doing it unseeable and on, because there was like, hey, it was kind of Russian influence and Soviet influence at the time in Cuba and on, but it's just like, what the heck is that? Ah, no, 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 that's not good. They isolate Cuba, and then
Right.
they were in shock because it really happened. It means like they turned on the rockets. I was like, I think we've got a problem. And you in-depth details, detailedly describe the whole stuff. And okay, I think it will be. Okay, it will be. It will be out anyhow. So uh, you know.
Fascinating.
Kind of.
It's
What?
I'm just seeing overlaps. I find it, intriguing, right?
That you was uh Ernesto's lovers,
What?
Who?
Che Guevara. Ernesto Che Guevara lover,
Ernesto, who was he, Peter?
I'm not who.
Please, you don't know Che Guevara, please.
Oh, Che Guevara.
Che Guevara, yeah, sorry for that. Yeah.
Jeez, look at her.
Is that what it is? I'm like, what? Oh,
In
wow.
Spanish, it's Che. Yeah, sorry for that.
Yeah, but you put a little bit of Slavic in that.
This is what
No, it's in Spanish, it's like that. It's Che too. Che.
I know that, but you added a little something else there that didn't more than Spanish.
No, it's Ernesto Che Guevara. It is like that. Sorry for this. So lover, it's it's lover. Yeah.
All right, let me look up and see who the lovers of Che Guevara were.
Now,
We'll find Karen.
guys, do you really believe that they will say you was
Put it out
agent?
there?
You was agent. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they kind of know who people are. Alita March,
Yeah.
Tamara Bunk. Additionally, Tamara Bunk or Tanya the Gorilla. This is the information. Let me just,
You screen share that?
yeah.
Hey guys, I'm not kidding you. I'm not.
Now we're getting to the juicy stuff, Peter.
So you said you need days and we need hours and hours.
Hey,
Now
stop.
what?
This is
Alita. Oh, seriously, Peter.
You look a bit like her here. Hold on.
What a weird
You
we
see
never
it?
have that one. I'm hearing church bells. Why are I having church bells on a Saturday?
Hopefully,
I'm like,
Che Guevara isn't hovering around in the astral somewhere. Because, I've had this conversation with Rolf before. No matter where you go in the world, you see his picture. Any place that I've traveled,
really?
it's not uncommon to see his picture. We're talking Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there, so I couldn't.
Him
Who's
and
this round?
Tupac. I don't know what the deal with him and Tupac are, but it's one of those crazy things. It's like they're an icon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very interesting.
so that you got and I'm saying goddamn important role.
I'll go back to the
Main one.
well, what was her role there? I mean,
Spy. What
as a
is that
spy.
kind of complicated?
Well, he ended
It's
up getting killed.
undercover.
Didn't Castro killed him or had him killed or Che
Yeah.
Guevara? Yeah, so that was oh, and look at Camilo is the other girlfriend. I wonder if it's Camilla, your
Camilla.
friend, that was with him as
What
well.
the heck? Why guys, this is
Oh, wait a minute, those are the children. That was a child.
Guys, don't
Workshop.
laugh. Okay, this is. Oh my.
That's crazy.
What in the world are we diving into? That's not good.
And it was a seaside resort town, which
And
is
clips from
Seaside
Havana.
is the name of the area that was the Truman Show. That's the name of it. It's a seaside resort.
Well, and look at there, it says like Tara, basically, like Tara, Tatarian, Octarian, Noah's
It's
Ark.
Ataria. Yeah.
I'm like all of that sort of thing. Interesting to
That's very
Havana
good.
for their honeymoon. But anyway, that's very interesting.
Karen.
Well,
Karen's
guys,
got the gun, the big,
which is okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Two on one. That's
This is like a Bonnie and Clyde scenario.
Well, Rolf's in here, so we got two of them.
No, Rolf is
Rolf
in
is
the
always
background.
quiet. That's unfair. He's
He
quiet.
won't be involved. Yeah.
You blessed man,
Yeah, of course. Jesus Christ.
Peter,
That's
where's Che Guevara now? I know he's not really dead. You know what I mean?
he was extracted to. No,
1950.
no. I don't. We shouldn't talk about that
Why?
because it's ongoing mission, and missions should not be jeopardized.
Okay. So
Long
anyway,
story short, and then it happened. You was 22 years old, right?
okay.
According the second scenario, if we wanna call it like that, and there were, pardon me, a first series of Project Ibis experiments.
Ibis?
Ibis as a bird.
I got it.
Project Ibis is let's say if we should still talk about time travel, but look, we are talking about what, 20 and back, so back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
It can be half step, so 10 years of course, a quarter step 5 years, and 3/4 step 15 years. It can be prolonged by 10% if needed, but it is highly not recommended to do so. Project Ibis was about, okay, screw 20 years and all kind of those crap about. If you want to talk with Shakespeare, let's do so. If you want to show certain, I don't know, ancient Greek or I don't know, Romanian Rome philosophers, or those kind of artists. If you want to see how Jesus was born, if you want to see ancient Samaria, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see real deal future, no problem. And they planned Project Ibis pretty much since Second World War ended, and it took them more than 10 years to start the experiment. It was spring.
Mm-hmm.
In order to be more precise, edge between, we are not 100% sure if it was end of March or start of April 1956, right?
Okay.
You was as fresh graduate after the university there.
Right.
Where,
And
Peter?
you was
Which university?
MIT.
MIT? Massachusetts. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Massachusetts. Yeah, Institute. And you was like, what the heck? This will never work. This is totally against our physical and natural laws and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happened. They've got something similar. I will explain who are they and what is where, okay? Very similar as CERN, you know.
Yeah.
Very
Synchrotron.
similar as CERN, yeah.
Yeah.
We are talking about Monarch, very bad guys, and the largest dump in the world, not dump as being stupid, it's an abbreviation of deep underground military base. Dump, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is on north east US region, northeastern, not so far away from Great Lake in Canada,
Yeah.
but on US side of the border.
Yeah.
No, and the stuff is like really work, and they almost killed you
Okay.
because you was smuggling children, because they did crazy, and I'm saying crazy, monstrosities to those children.
Yeah, it's like the 5 Lakes finger thing and all the trafficking in underground.
I don't wanna say raping children, but
They got
let's
side
say
torturing.
you know, scientific experiments, but those experiments were definitely not okay. They were off chart of being cruel, crazy. You know, they were only for the scientists from Monarch. They were only for about, you know, it's like, okay, we need to make some progress. We need to make progress, and they were like, they started, okay, with young adults. I'm talking about in between 2022, maybe 25,
Yep.
and they soonly realize, no, that's not good, and they start with younger and younger and younger age.
Yeah.
And the first successful series, as I said, spring 1956.
So it was
It was
basically doing child rescue out
pretty
of there.
much.
Kind
And
of
I
like
was like, what
you
the
now.
heck is going on? That was fucking crazy. It's all along. And pretty much there was surveillance, and you was smart enough, because someone who, you know, who got a diploma from MIT, yeah, those people should be smart to realize, okay, like the angles of cameras, how can I say it? Help me. I'm calling them dead angles, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, the blind spot.
cameras,
The blind spot.
yeah, dead spot, yeah, blind spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we will like, you got the children, right? Grab their hands, and it's like, okay, we will run here right now. Do you know what I mean? Like this, like that, and they pretty much made your life miserable. They
Okay. After this time.
Monarch. They, yeah,
They're still
yeah.
making her life miserable. Sorry,
No,
not
no,
to
no,
speak
no,
for
no,
Are we
no.
you.
Give
seeing
me a second. Give
overlaps?
me a second, please. They made, and because you was not able to get rid of this incarnation, 1934 incarnation, and because they, once again, Monarch, backtracked you to your original date of birth and everything, they decided, okay, and now, bam, now it's her turn to feel the pain. And we know rest of the story, and this is your actual life. So they decided when, where, how you will be, you will, be born and everything, because they can do so. Believe it or not, they can.
I'm aware of
They
that.
can. But you was fucking brave, without without military training, zero training, without any, yes, you've got two knives. Okay. I need to admit, you've got two knives, military knives. Okay, I need to admit that, but without any weapons, like, shooting, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my fucking god, that's
Do
fucking
you think
crazy.
that just her lifetime with Che Guevara, maybe she might have had some recall and was
Definitely yes,
used
definitely
like
yes.
almost
But
like trained for this in a way?
I will
I've
tell you,
actually,
it definitely is, because without this, there will be no chance to go through the whole process. Because if you will be, quotes in quotes, regular scientist, very smart, but the regular, if you know what I mean, you
yeah.
doesn't give a shit about some surveillance cameras and blah blah blah. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So you was like very, very closely paying attention. You paid attention on cameras, on angles. Do you know what? Yeah, yeah.
I've done it in this lifetime. I've actually rescued my own two children, very similar to what you're talking
So
about.
I'm just trying to say the whole stuff, and there are too many things we can
It,
things. Let's call them phenomenons. Let's call them directions we can move on. There's
yeah.
tons of stuff. And I'm like, once again, I will be very open and honest with you, okay? Because Jessica is calling me. How? Jessica, please tell how.
What was that?
Jessica is calling me how? Straight shooter.
Straight shooter, there you go.
Honest and straight shooter. Okay.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
was like, oh my god, I don't know if I have enough time, and on, because once again, I'm not kidding you. We are for real in the middle of the mission. It's a huge mission. It's pretty much, it's part of huge operation, this mission, and we almost lose the checkpoint. And but because we almost lose the checkpoint, and we've got it. Once again, getting the information about who Vlasovs were, who really, for really Murkov is, what they are, or what he was doing and what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Many things, dirty shit. Monarch was and still is doing. It's like, it's because of you. And I was like, oh my god, that's so good.
Thank you.
And you've got it on cryptid, and I'm saying very well cryptid notes. I was like, oh my god, what this notebook is for? And I'm like, no, I'm way too young for this. I'm way too young. I am
Say that a lot.
Yeah, I am 1970. I'm year 1970, and I get this, and I was like, I will tell you, I get this to Bobby. Robert, Kate's father. And it is like, it is the same cipher, right? But each of us are it is the same writing system, but you know, it has its own, how can I say, you know, specific type, like, oh, okay, that's her writing, his writing. And he said that. Ay, 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 ay. What is going on, Bob? And he told me, yeah. Yeah. And I was like, what? That's her. And just by the way, he cried. I swear to God, he cried. I swear to God. I swear to God, he cried. And he said, what? This was our sign. What are you talking about, sign? Like, if she will be in trouble, those things written in the ciphers, like, I am in deep shit. Help me, guys. And once again, and he's a fucking rough man. He's a fucking rough man, believe. He was in Rangers, and he was in SEAL Team 6, and I was like, he was in that group, and I was like, what the heck are you? It's wrong with you, Bobby? And I'm like, she's in the deep shit problem. Help her ASAP. So just you created the cipher, but I wasn't able to do that. Like, decipher it. Zero chance. Nope. So positive confirmation that it's you, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Peter, are you implying that Kate's?
And come on a second. And as an honor to you, he gave the name for his child, for his girl.
Yeah.
It's Kate. I swear to God, I know her for person.
Oh, really?
Kate Leswell.
Yeah, I know that, but is Kate, you're saying, well, because she's Karen. So what's the
No. You don't understand one thing. Please look, Catherine in what it
Catherine
is?
MacDonald. Yeah, I see.
In for agency.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're right.
Please,
Peter,
you asked for agency. Okay,
Peter, is this Bobby Kennedy? Because his first daughter is
sorry,
Kathleen.
no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say yes or no.
His daughter is Kathleen.
I don't. No,
I just checked it.
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry. I'm just trying to say that this guy is rough. He's in his 80s or something like that, and still though he can run a marathon. It's fucking
he's still
crazy.
here. He's still alive.
That's what he's
No. I'm saying he's alive. Yeah. What's going on?
It's interesting.
Skako, Robert Kennedy's wife was Slavic. We found that out, right?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say, okay?
Just trivia.
Just throwing it out there. Okay. It's interesting. I just, when you talked about created the ciphers and coding and decoding or deciphering, this is just a little quick aside, but in the last year, I met someone called Lucia Mann.
Okay.
And it turns out she lived in a little town just north of me up here by my hot springs. She was in her 80s when I met her, and she's wrote about 6-8 books. One of them was the hidden myths of the Arrows Lakes, another one about children decoding soul and reincarnation. Make a long story short, I got to meet with her. She was MI5, and she was one of the few decoders left in this planet. And when she met me, she handed me her ring. She said she'd been waiting for 40 years to meet me. She actually saw my grandmother at one point. She was AB negative.
And I will tell you something. This is the confirmation of it, what I'm talking about.
I'm hearing this and this decoding thing. And I was like, she gave me this ring, Peter, that I think it was orange. It looks like something from the Temple of Isis. But she said,
and this is it what I'm talking about. I never, and there were too many people. It wasn't me. There were many people from old squad of his.
yeah,
They never saw him crying. And he cries like a baby. I'm just trying to say. Because he saw your cipher.
yeah.
And there was only like, do you know what is idiolect? Idiolect, it's like dialect,
Dialect,
right?
yeah.
But idiolect, it's term, like, for example, we will say something, certain term, and only four of us will know. You are under heavy surveillance, and this is another problem because you are in TIRAP. Question is, I think we didn't publish the TIRAP program. Okay, TIRAP with RA, it's like targeted individuals research advanced program. TIRAP. It is one of very part of important agenda or agendas, pardon me, of DARPA, and pretty much it is like if so many people believes like 3 letters alphabet agencies, including the most one starting on C.
Yeah,
If many people believes like in US, for example, that if they say, hey guys, we need to this, we need to that, no. There are limits, believe me, they are, that they will say no. Pardon me, the government. There is only one agency, US government never say no. Yes, this agency is DARPA.
Founded in 1958
Yeah.
in response to the Soviet Sputnik launch. And it is the
Jessica,
defense.
Projects Agency, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
Yeah, I said
Project
that.
agency.
Yeah.
So I could do a shared screen. Hold on.
Yeah, thank you.
With the DoD.
With the DoD, and this is it. This is the only one agency in the world, and not only within US, but within US, there is only one. No one will say in US no. And you are targeted individual.
Yeah, figure.
And just by the way, you will not like it. No, I know you will not like it.
The amount of stuff I do, in research and development and biofeedback, that ties into the Russian scientists. It ties into health. It ties into bioresonance. It ties into reverse engineering. Ties into
you will not like it.
Everything.
I mean, technically, it can be honor, and it can be worst, shittiest nightmare in the world. Most wanted. And I don't wanna sounds bad, but from this point of view, you can be happy that you are still alive.
I have friends in high places,
Why don't you tell Peter how many times you have to move around and everything?
Well, I've moved around, but I mean, it's more like, to me, it's like frontline nursing. I just go with what's in front of me. So, on that. But I mean, the only time I physically left was to protect my own 2 children, which they found us a couple of, months later, but whatever.
They targeted her children very, very much.
Massively. massively. You know, I had every
What do
like
you
eight.
mean by what are we talking about by massively?
Oh, I had my health center was under surveillance. I had SWAT teams come in. I was jailed. I refused to stand for a judge with their black robes and pedophile knights of whatever they are. And so I knew this very early. So, I mean, I've been in and out, you know, they haven't really bothered me in a lot of sense for that. But at that point, they did. Oh, yeah, absolutely targeting. They kept my children away. Most of the stuff was to come through the children. I mean, what are you going to do to me? You
No,
know,
no, no,
that
no. This is actually, look, this is their easiest way how to, access people.
absolutely, you know, but then at some point, you know, a lot of people break. I didn't, you know, I was involved with people, like I said, Project Ascension. I am assisting people in getting healthy, trying to get their sovereignty back, teaching original law, not this private public crap thing, you know, common law crap thing and all that stuff. I know I've touched the original copper plates that are 3,000 years old that were the original things. I went to Kamloops to put in an international arrest warrant for Queen Elizabeth. I had it hand delivered to her General Paul in the inner city of London. You know,
I believe you, 100. I believe you 100%. Like
I, I figured that
100%.
out. I got that out. And, you know, I think a lot of it too, you know, like I said, right now in this area where I am in this little camp, this is across Valhalla. I always laughed. I said, you guys, I'm waiting for you guys. I'm still at Valhalla waiting, but they put it all on fire here. Jessica and I did a show last year, not only about quantum health and healing, but the Kootenays, but the fires that they did. So this area is, so that you're aware of it, it's right in front, about 2 hours north of Nelson Q552 base. I've been
Oh
aware.
my God. That's
Okay,
that
so
shittiest place to. Oh my God.
okay, so this was all on fire. I lived through that. I nursed through people through that. I know I've got the petroglyphs. I look outside my kitchen window and I'm looking at all those petroglyphs of the sacred sites here of these Arael lakes. So it's more like I feel I don't think I'm running away from stuff. It's just it's holding space or filling where I'm comfortable at the time. But I'm well aware of what's going underneath my feet. I can feel the shaking. I can see
No,
what
no,
they're
no.
doing.
And this is the stuff.
Yeah. When I first came out here, I was out here years ago after they, you know, wanted me to go to Protecting the Sacred at Lillooet. And I've gone
Uh-huh.
into places too, or to these lodges, you know, in their Medinawi lodges or wherever, you know, trying to help the local tribes here. Like this is the Snaic tribes, you know, I'm trying to protect the water, the land, all the Columbia water basin that feeds basically half of Canada and the States is right through my area here. And I've been there. I've been taken to the Stargate at Hope, you know, by
Okay.
Rob Nicholson, right? And you know where that was, and that was blowing up. And then here, the elders wanted me to stay here, and they realized it. They would cry when I would come in there. I'd say something, and they just start weeping. No, we need you here. You're a gift to us, like you know. And last year, I looked after one of the guys, Larry Levan. He was a former JAG Navy lawyer. He just passed away in his 80s because a lot of the people took, which I didn't. I mean, I'm clean. I didn't take that. I'll start bleeding around anyone that took the
Took what? Sorry. Took what?
the experimental things in the last couple of years. You know, out their
Oh
nose or
my.
in that thing. So I can nurse them, but from a distance. You can't reverse it. We already know that stuff. But I looked after Larry Levan. So we did like, you know, several different shows with him and his Ekankar stuff. And recently another one on the East Coast is Dr. Richard Allen Miller, you know, Doc Ram with the GS18. And these people are so precious because seriously, they want to do stuff to preserve for children and everything else. And they're more targeted. I feel like compared to them, you know,
I
it's
will
such a
tell you. I will tell you. It is not that kind of. They have their own system how to target people and why.
right.
How to create a list of what I'm saying. This is crazy.
How so?
No, I'm saying that and just but what? Oh my God, that's not good. I don't want to say not good. So you I Okay. Sorry. This is way too crazy for me. I'm talking about Project Mannequin right now.
Okay.
Project Man. Are you familiar with that or not?
I'm aware of it. Yes.
Okay. The stuff is
Jessica
you
once
are
part of that.
there.
Yeah.
It is a huge hall, and I'm saying huge hall.
Yeah.
They are in some sort of cells. I'm calling them capsules. Like, like capsule you can eat, like, like a mat or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they are huge. Fit for human body size.
Okay.
It's some sort of gel-ish stuff inside, and there are people in some sort of weird state of mind, just lying there.
They're suspended in a capsule in this
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I was like, yeah, thank you. That was
It
it. What
makes
I
sense.
was. Yeah, but all of them are gifted in some sort of way.
Okay.
Try to guess what?
Just like the Minority Report.
Literally Minority Report, but give me a second. Project Mannequin. And they are getting it. Okay. What in the world we get their abilities to? And because mannequins, like, you are going to shopping mall and you can see the clothing, and it looks very similar to human body, but it's non-living object. So they transfer this kind of part of, or let's say aspect of human soul and on to
Consciousness.
those mannequins. Yeah. And you was there in the same time. Actually, no. It was even before. Give me a second. This is way too complicated. You was as a college student there, and you was like experimental. Give me a second. How it was? It was your practical labor, huge labor. Implementation of fringe physics into the latest generation of medical help for dying people. That was your name of your labor. It was huge.
So like
And
a
you
palliative care nursing. So just doing holistic nursing, what I'm kind of doing now.
pretty much. And you was 20 years old. So at the time, pardon me, 1954. Okay. At the
Right.
time from 1934 scenario, once you was born,
That's interesting because that ties into, I'll just quickly as inside. Not too many people have ever talked about that. And it's funny because that would tie back into Nelson and some of this, like whatever, Alberta and BC, deep underground military bases. And it was
But
funny.
I'm saying that we are having crazy, like big
Crossover.
and in-depth database. So many people don't I don't know if they are jealous about this stuff. They don't like us. I don't know why. They don't like our information. And then other people, they don't like our information on one hand, and they are stealing it on another hand. Am I right, Jessica? It's kind of weird. Long story short, you started 1954,
Yeah.
and you, quotes in quotes, like, okay, she's such a gifted student, no problem. And you ended up in the whole project. And what I'm talking about, which kind of Corporation. Yep. Murkov. Because the goal of what is the project, we should talk about project, it's Warrider. And what is the project Warrider about? I will tell you. It should be, and this is very important, collective consciousness of soldier. I don't want to say soldier. Pardon me, collective consciousness of battalion, or let's say, army of soldiers.
Units.
They will never give up. It means they will have one leg, one arm, never give up, like never. They will be physically, heavily, damaged, like heavily, how can I say it, wounded. Nope, they will never give up. Because that was the order from, and I want to say it order, but technically they gave, pardon me, US DOD, they gave them tremendous amount of money via MK Ultra in the very late 1940s, right?
Yeah.
But this is the stuff you are involved in in everything of that. Everything. That's kind of problem.
I was doing a client, right? Because I do virtual healing all the time, quantum biofeedback, healing consultant. I make up stuff here. I do a lot of the recovery for whether it's, SARA, sexual abuse, ritual abuse. I develop many things from oils to tuning forks to biofeedback, whatever.
I understand that. Okay.
So part of that, and I got to meet actually with the former Minister of Defense for Canada, which was Paul Hellyer. He came up when he found who I was when we were talking in Calgary. There was like Grant Cameron, Steve Bassett, and a whole bunch. It was like a UFO kind of thing there we had. But anyway, Paul came up to me. I gave him my clan mother seal. He said, "Can I have that?" He says, "Oh my gosh, you have no idea what an honor it would be, Karen." I said, "You want this ratty piece of paper with my, I'll send you the seal there." And he goes, "You're going to be our one ray of hope. You know that." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He gave me this big bear hug because he was just a huge man before he got taken out by the other stuff in the last couple of years. But I was doing a client and he was having post-traumatic stress, and he said basically
like PTSD stuff, PTSD
Correct.
stuff.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
Understand.
And so he was having post-traumatic stress in there, and he was talking about the USS Eldridge, and I said, he goes, "Well, you were there, you were a nurse," and I said,
"Oh, like PTSD shit was USS Eldridge is shit. Oh my.
And so he said,
sorry. One thing. No, in 1920. So your original scenario, okay? No,
Yeah.
you wasn't. You was not nurse there. It was a doctor, medical doctor there. Okay.
Yeah, I function.
This is what I was about to say. Okay.
That makes total sense because, I'm with Paul Duran, Dr. Duran of the University of Hawaii, which is the International Quantum University of Integrative Medicine. So we're putting out quantum doctors way above an MD or a naturopath. And he asked me to be a professor and develop the course syllabus. But I had this thing about getting sovereignty and protecting children. So, I kind of have my but I get the idea of the, doctor and stuff like that. But it was interesting when he said to me, he goes, "You were a nurse there, Karen, you were like part of the space program." And I said, "I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't even like a twinkle in my father's eye."
And this is the stuff. This is the stuff that he was talking about once again, like 20 years back and on and on. And I am very happy, to be honest, that you are even open. Like, okay, can maybe this be true? Something like a true, once I'm talking about, like the stuff what, like being born in a different year and everything, because so many people don't believe that. Even like they don't even want to talk about that. It was like, no.
So does this sound weird to you? So my cousin, before I went into nursing, I was in interior decorating because my cousin and his wife owned something called Prairie Drapery in Saskatoon. you know, right before I attended the University of Saskatchewan and went into neonatal nursing, but for, you know, 10, 15 years. But one of the things I used to tell him, and she said, I was 3 years old and I would point at the sun. I said, I'm a nurse and I came through the sun. She goes, the thing she used to say, Karen, I went, I think it's true. I'm not from here. I'm going, I must have come through a portal or one of them or something or a gate. But that makes sense to me, what you're saying. It really does. And, you know, I've been with too many people, you know, not just Jessica, and watched your shows and everything else, but I'm very open to that. I know about soul to soul transfers.
And
I've been with clones.
and the whole stuff is,
yeah.
so, sorry, just finish your thought. Sorry, pardon me. Sorry. And the whole stuff is that everything of this, so Project Mannequin was done in order to achieve better results in Project Wallrider. Once again, and those were side projects. You know, with, you know, let's say besides, you know, like Project Wallrider, it's like he was there.
I don't know much about that one. Can you type that out, Jessica? I don't know much about
Yeah,
that.
we did a show on Project Mannequin and how
Project Wallrider and Project Mannequin.
Okay, so let's hold on a second. Let me just give her a quick overview.
Thank you. Sorry, pardon me. Sorry.
Yeah, Project Mannequin is it was originally created by Kruger Corporation because the gifted people were losing their abilities under the cryo process.
Yeah, I don't
So in order to resolve that, then they put them in mannequins, which were I'm assuming was successful, but then they abandoned the facility where they were doing that, and the corporations came in and started abusing the same process, which then evolved into Project Camelot, where they started putting souls into dogs.
Okay, I mean, sorry. So first things first, it was Project Mannequin, but problem is like they didn't. First things first, they were short on money.
Okay.
In Project Mannequin, and then Project Camelot, how can I say it, came to scene, but you know, Project Mannequin went to very bad, you know, bad hands. And these bad hands, you know, we are talking about Murkov, and you saw it, and you are like, oh my God, that's not good. And you help those people, to get out of those cells. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, out of the gel pods, out of the
gel pods. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't like
they're in suspension. It's kind of like, you know, when they talk about the regen beds, but it's a similar kind of a
yeah.
They're making artificial children right now, artificial wombs, that kind of crap. Yeah, okay.
And but as Jessica said, originally it was created by Kruger, as you said.
Okay.
Just by the way, you are muted, Jessica. You are muted.
Yeah, there's a little bit of noise over here. But then it went into Murkoff, whose project was in Project Wallrider, which was and then he used a lot of super soldiers for different things.
Okay.
I will say in my language misuse, you know, my terminology.
Oh, definitely. And
abuse and abuse, yeah. So Wallrider. Okay, got it.
But once again, Project Camelot, once again, it's like from Project Mannequin to dogs. And it is like each person, each gifted person involved in Project Mannequin has guard dog, if you know what I mean, like dog friend. I don't know how can I say it.
Companion.
Yeah, companion. Thank you. Yeah,
like a service dog, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
just by the way, this boundary coast. I don't want to say coast, but it means, because coast can be like bad So it is the reason once dog is alive and
Mhm.
once person is alive, and
Yeah.
once they've got soul connection, they are immortal. No one can kill them. Once they will not die on some sort of lethal diseases, if you know what I'm trying to say.
They become impermeable. I mean, I know a couple, and they're friends of mine. Like they're real soldiers. Like they're active. They're not one of these ones that are out on TV blabbing their things at these conferences.
Pardon me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got this vision of the dogs back to what Larry and I were doing back in Egypt, right? I'm going, is that some sort of a connection or like the back to the soul, the immortality, the
Yep.
soul
This is
jumping, the
what I'm
soul
talking
sleeps?
about.
Yeah. The skin walking, whatever you want to call the
Yeah.
tethering, possession, whatever you want to talk about, soul jumping. I mean, I see a lot of that because I'm dealing with so much of the biofield, right? So what I'm seeing is entities, I think, are sometimes part of these fragments of these projects, basically. It wouldn't surprise me. It makes a lot of sense what you're saying. It's horrendous what you're talking about, from what they did with Mannequin, and that goes back to interesting. Another foreshadowing. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was my psychic thing coming through. I don't know. I didn't know we were going to even go down this hole that you're presenting, Peter. It's quite fascinating, actually. It's got me definitely thinking here. But there's so much stuff, like you said, it's nothing but nefarious.
Yeah, I know.
It needs to be stopped. And I mean, that's what I wanted to see if we could still do that with the authority and the signatory that we have, in doing something like that, because there is that part of the lineage, right? To maybe
Yeah,
help people in that
correct.
way. And if that's the one thing I can do, I think that's the only, that's my joie de vivre, getting up,
I think
and
you've been very busy. It looks like there's been quite a lot of things that you've been active in. And so what you're active in here is kind of a bleed through of some of the stuff that's perpetuating and moving in these other spaces. And obviously, I imagine, Peter, that Karen has a great deal of memory that she doesn't fully recall on the surface, but repressed or blocked memory to herself that they try to access. Am I correct?
It is definitely the case as you described. Yep.
So that would be something I'd like to look at exploring. It's not like we haven't tried, but nothing's been successful to this point, because I would like to be able to access those memories. I realize they're in there. A lot of people can do it. I should be able to do it, but there's something keeping a suppression in, and maybe there are, whether it's implants or whatever's.
I will tell you
holding it
something,
down.
okay? During the time they made a total recall on you for 4 times, and I swear to God that you can be happy that you are alive. Because they got such impulse in a normal occasion, if we can call it normal occasion,
Okay.
it will literally smash your brain, like cook your brain. It's like, what the fuck is that shit about?
I realize when we're in the heat wave, or there's a direct energy weapon or something. But I got
oh my
lots of things
God,
to.
this is
I'm
crazy.
Well, I'm still that, whether it's me or other people that are in there. I mean, I think there's a lot of things naturally they can't overcome. And part of it is the mind is the matter, and part of it is our soul, and part of it is our belief, and part of it is our protection by the creator that we're here. So
don't try to tell this to another people, because they tell that you are crazy.
you know what? Everything is energy. I work in quantum medicine.
No. I
Right?
understand that, but look, so many people believe what they believe. Okay, I will tell you.
Wait a
Yeah, I
minute,
know.
who are we talking
Honey.
about is crazy and who isn't? I mean, I think we've already passed that point, Peter, in all
I
our
know.
conversations. All
I
right.
know, but look, for so many people, because people are egoistic, egocentric, egomaniacs, most people, and they are material driven, ego driven, money driven. I don't know if
Yeah,
I
materialistic,
said it right. And
narcissistic.
that's the problem, it's like it doesn't matter how many person the right you are, it's like, is she crazy? It's
Well, I think pretty much what Peter's saying is we're frustrated because Peter literally, I mean, collaborating with me, yes, but the majority of the material is Peter's. And people are just trying to make money off of it now at this point with their events and all this other stuff. It's not their material in the first place. So
they are stealing our content, and just by the way, and look, and there is one particular person, one lady, she hates us so much on one hand, and on the other hand, she's stealing our stuff, our content, literally out of our website.
Yeah, the
we
United
don't
News.
even know
Yeah, I've
her.
seen that.
We didn't even know her, and it's well now literally was using all our content, trying to define what the meaning was, and then calls us the cabal. It's like,
He
you
even
know,
doesn't
it
know. He
makes sense.
don't know what Cabal is about. No, zero chance. No.
I don't even understand what the problem is. And we don't even talk to him. We don't provoke him. We don't do anything. It's
And just
bizarre.
by the way, 6 years ago, approximately year before COVID hit the fan, approximately,
Mhm.
we talked. We've got, let's say, I've got certain points of view. He got different, but we were talking normal, reasonable convo. I mentioned certain lady,
Mhm.
first name, and first two, three, uh, let's say, first half of her surname, and I was like, what the heck? And he started yelling at me. I was barely able to get. It was English. He drop off the call, and he blocked me on all the platforms
Mhm.
without any sort of a rationable reason. And that was end of his contact with me. That was it. Stop. Period.
There's so much infighting in there. The ones
Absolutely.
that I know, and people behind the scenes that will never come out that I have assisted, right? It's a mutual thing. We're friends, but they would never come out,
Come out. You are saying like go to public or
public,
something?
public,
Oh,
never
okay,
come out
okay,
public,
okay. I understand that.
'cause
Okay.
they're still active, and that's why, like I said, what I see being presented in these disclosures and conferences and stuff like that, it's just like, are you serious? It's like a lot of this, I think, is another part of grifting, and it gives things a bad name. But like I
Well,
said,
they
it's all
take, yeah, the
distraction.
grifting related to
Distraction.
money,
Exactly.
which they accuse us of grifting. We never asked for money from anyone other than
It
an
is
exchange of
bullshit.
a
It's
second.
shit.
I've
Well,
never, people have donated, but we've never like said, hey, can you give us thousands of dollars for an event? We've never done anything like that.
it's a whole different, and you can
They're
tell the
projecting that
difference.
stuff on us. And what I was saying is there's a lot of confusion about the super soldiers, where they come from and everything, and everyone's putting it all together as if all the super soldiers are then being MyLabs by Monarch and all this stuff, and it's all coordinated together. And that's the part I was trying to define because
And just by the way, sorry for interrupting you, Jessica. I know it is impolite, but I need to. And this is the shittiest part of it, and I will not watch my language in this case. Sorry, that they are literally bragging that they are part of Monarch. I was like, what the heck?
well,
Those
not
are
only that,
bastards.
they're also saying that we're evil for talking about this stuff, or
Yeah.
that we don't have any compassion because we're involved with it. And just because Peter's disclosing it doesn't mean he's involved with it, but they know that this is a big game to discredit us, so then they get credit for Peter's content.
Well, and
But
the
Yeah.
I don't know exactly everything that's saying, but correct me if I'm wrong, family was involved with creating some type of integrative service to put ideas, almost like the
Oh yeah, I mean, she was
her family was involved in creating all of this.
all of them. They're
Yeah,
military. They're part of Black Ops and Project
they're
Salus.
part
But
of it, which
she was
is
a
a part of.
Rothschild Rockefeller in there, but went through SRA. But she was used and abused, and then got into the
It looks
computer
like
thing.
she's had a very hard time.
Massive, massive, you know. And I don't have to like people's like religions. I don't have to like your diets. I don't, you know what I mean. But the truth of the matter is that the actual data is there. And I've gone through it backwards and forwards. And she's actually approached me. I was just happy to catch her yesterday. She says, I've asked Karen and MacDonald to do stuff on natural health and on essential oils. We will look at biofeedback because I'm not hooking people up where they're getting sick. I'm doing it as a sound generator. You can't hook people up, and you shouldn't be, because these people, like, I mean, there's systems like ES, there's Spooky Twos. People are going into turbo cancers. They're putting in methylene blues. They're putting in pharmaceuticals that are tryptogane that I've seen, you know, in there, and worked with the people like Dr. or Dr. and all these different people, and Dr. over the years. These people are, like you said, money grabbing, and they have no integrity. And this is what really gets to me, you know. And you just mentioned one. There was in there, I came across one that I'll put it out there because I don't care about putting names. Is that it was a doctor supposedly that was using, she developed
Yeah,
some
that's
of
the
her
one that was
biofeedback.
talking about us. And we were
Okay.
like, we don't even know her. We don't
That's-
even know. And she's like, why do you
Yes.
listen to Peter the Insider? She's screaming. And we're like, where's all this emotion coming from? We don't even know this woman. And she was actually giving people the records, saying that she had Peter's records to give to people.
Yeah.
And we were like, this woman's insane.
I saw her tear apart people. Like, I mean, there's some really nice naturopaths I work with that wouldn't say crap if their mouth is full of it. In there, deliberately gaslighting, trying to take people in there, but actually taking our devices, you know, like our biofeedback, snapping a picture off YouTube, and within 30 seconds, they're all being abducted. And she's the only one that can save them from being abducted from the Grazer Kruger. But went so far, Peter, as to say, get this, that she was part reptilian, and the reptilians were all great. And that only she could save them from Kruger or Monarch or whatever else. And I'm like, oh gosh. And then she mentioned the ACIO, and I'm like, this has to be stopped. I mean, this is also gives our natural, even, you know, therapies and stuff like that, or distance therapies, or using, you know, this to look at a biofield, like you're doing a thermal imaging, or like I'm doing iridology. That's all this does, or produces the sounds in the background.
But that you met with her because she was trying to replicate
Yes.
healing people like you do, because you were the first one that was kind of doing it publicly. And then she started doing, she wasn't doing that before. She started giving reading with people with her AI.
Psychics. Yeah. She actually was doing readings on people using that, which we didn't know. And I, you know, because you get crossover clients, right? And like, my gosh, this has to be shut down. But
and we're trying, we the ACIO and Unit 374 and other teams are constantly, we don't do events because we're working. We're working. We're
But you know, they believe that. No.
Who's got time to be on Florida beaches, you know?
Personally, I don't care, but like the whole thing is people think that they're the ones that have the answers. And we're out like, they've said, "Oh, Jessica, we need to talk to you." Oh no, I'm busy on a mission right now. I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I appreciate you guys.
I don't understand the whole stuff, like, because and people believe them, of course.
Well, that's the corporations. It's so obvious. Because why would people believe them?
Yeah.
It's not even their content. Why would they believe it?
You got corporations again. They are setting up corporations. I could get into the whole fiat thing and the private members and everything they think that they're doing, and thinking there's another thing of elitism, right? Even teaching people the difference between being a sovereign savage and what this, lower uniform commercial code is in PC.
Yeah.
It just drives me whatever. And,
I saw those monstrosities. You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to hear it. It is very bad. And how you are calling them, Jessica?
Umbra
Can you
First.
get more clarification? Because I'm kind of, long story short, there is one a very bad astral entity who enslave or very, let's say, intoxicated. I don't know how to correctly pronounce it. My wife, and come on, Jessica, stage is yours.
They're a species. They're borderline. They're kind of from the vampire family, but slightly different. We've been seeing them. One of them showed up when I was visiting a friend and was trying to say that they had been in a romance with them. I was just hearing the conversation, transferring the information, and we were very suspicious. And then it followed me on the plane, followed me home. And we started doing a research because I could see what it looked like and tracked it down. And sure enough, I heard he called himself Umbra, Amber, Ombre, like a few different names like that. We looked it up and I said, that's it. I literally could find the name. And it turns out that Peter described them as being in part of the battle, which is what we're doing right now. And that we have having
I mean,
this.
right now, sorry, pardon me. Sorry, Jessica, pardon me for interrupting. Right now, it means right here, right now, the mission, let's say, part of huge operation. Sorry for that.
And it's they're coming from off-world and on the Moon series. I don't think they
They need.
care. It's like a predator type of
But, so this Amber is different than an Anshar, right? I'm getting two different
not an
species.
Anshar.
Sorry, I don't know. You
No.
need to talk about that. Women,
The Anshars are
ladies,
bad. They have a similar kind of feel to them, but no, these are more like what people might think are shadow beings
Okay. Yeah.
or like Venom, the movie Venom.
Yeah. No, I've had a couple of, clients and friends of mine. Actually, some of them were, whatever, vets or just in the cadets or whatever. And I've seen that, I've been in their house and been sleeping or, seen the marks on them. I mean, they haven't gone anywhere and, they weren't self-inflicted. I've also, when I was helping the people at a Hope and get through that fire evacuation and getting them out of there because they were the witnesses. And I've seen those beam weapons. I don't need to have a picture from Google. I've seen many of these lasers come down going towards the dumbs underneath us. I mean, I don't know why people have a hard time to think that there's a transit system in the mountain, because there is. I've even talked to people who have been into these gates and Nelson and wherever the hell else it is. But it's amazing because when I first came out here, that was one of the things people said they were being taken by Greys or whatever, or she was in a car calling me and they targeted her. She ended up with a 2nd-degree burn. Andrea ended up with 2nd-degree burn just because they're trying to get help, which we've put my neck on the left, line way too many times. But, it's interesting that you would mention about these bite marks and stuff, Peter, because I've seen that, when I first came out here, they were coming in and you could feel, they go, can't you tell they're here? And all I could feel was a real low rattle. I could feel the Heidi bed moving. And I found it was something like an extremely low frequency. Like even when rushing,
as we are talking about it, like low vibration,
Very low vibration. Yeah.
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 It's the same thing when the Russian 8.8 just happened last Tuesday or whatever, a week ago. 2 hours later, I was sitting here on the couch and my hands started vibrating like this. I went, what is going on? Because normally I can feel dental if it's 5G, 6G, something moving, right? And all of a sudden, then my feet started shaking, the place started shaking, and I'm like, what's going on? This is a new one to me.
So feel free to contact Jessica. You are very welcome, madam. Pleasure to meet you.
Spasibo, thank you. Yeah. So I appreciate that. I appreciate your help, your understanding, everything you guys are doing. It's so, like I said, it's very heartfelt. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to actually reconnect. And I look forward to, talking again and furthering everything.
Once again, absolutely no single sign of problem from me, from my point of view. Definitely, it really happened. It really helps.
And I'm thankful that you are not offended by the information, because some people get angry when Peter tells them there's some of their tricky scenario. So, yeah,
I was kind of, oh my God, what I will do, it's like so many people can be like, it will be trigger for them. They will get do stuff like, oh my God, they are
get
saying
angry at us.
bullshit
Yeah.
about, you know. And I will tell you something. It is
What?
because you are a wise person and you are a mature person, in your head.
Very much. You're welcome to come here. I have all the hot springs. So if you guys need a break, this is the hot spring capital. I've got Ainsworth and Halcyon. I got wild springs up here at halfway.
Thank
You're
you
welcome
once
to come up
again.
here.
Thank you very much. It was very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to it. You guys have a great, great, great day and enjoy where you're at.
Thank you. All
Appreciate
right.
it. And thank you, Rob, as well. Appreciate that.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
You have been watching Disclosures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Visit www.acio-official.org and www.readingsbyarael.com to book a private session with Jessica. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you, and until next time.